Immigrants are being arrested at courthouses and deported right away.
Arroyo says this new policy is part of the administration's crackdown.
We literally have to tell people, like, no, it's okay. We're going to be there with you. Nothing's going to happen.
But can you guarantee that?
But I honestly can't say that now, right? Like, I can't say that the way that we are seeing this administration move is that the reality is I don't know from day to day where we're going to be at.
Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're delving into the controversial ICE courthouse raids that have led to multiple arrests and the indictment of a Wisconsin judge. Let's unpack what happened, why it's significant, and the response of the people.
A crowd of people here showing their support and giving them warnings. They have signs here. I'm going to have Roberto kind of flip the camera around. They're holding signs saying, don't talk without a lawyer, stay silent, don't sign anything. Again, just letting people know what exactly is happening. This comes after reports that people going into, again, immigration court are being detained by ICE.
In a series of unprecedented events, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, has intensified its operations, leading to arrests not only of undocumented migrants, but also of a sitting judge. These actions have sparked nationwide debates about the boundaries of law enforcement and judicial independence.
A man in handcuffs being loaded into an unmarked white van. The man, attorneys with the Bar Association of San Francisco say, was an immigrant applying for asylum, and he's not the only one leaving the courtroom in custody.
These are ICE officers coming to the court to arrest and detain individuals who are here following the law, trying to proceed with their asylum application.
In video obtained by the San Francisco Standard, another man is seen being taken away in handcuffs. Millie Atkinson is one of the attorneys who represents people before the immigration court. Atkinson says this is unprecedented.
We've never seen anything like this before, and it's really scary for people to know that, they came here fleeing violence and persecution in their home countries from authoritarian governments.
The Department of Homeland Security says anyone who entered the country illegally within the past 2 years is subject for expedited removal.
We have an insider video of the courthouse. An immigrant getting arrested by the ICE.
A spokesperson with DHS tells us in a statement, Secretary Noem is reversing Biden's catch and release policy that allowed millions of unvetted illegal aliens to be let loose on American streets. This administration is once again implementing the rule of law.
So the government is trying to create new rules and a new process for removing people without giving them the opportunity to go before a judge.
We learned many people did not show up for their hearings on Tuesday following the news, but advocates say undocumented immigrants should still appear and say it gives them the best chance to be granted asylum.
They put themselves at greater risk for deportation because if you don't attend your hearing, you're basically abandoning your claim for asylum.
These actions have really stirred things up across the country. Immigrant rights groups showed up outside the immigration courthouse to protest after ICE arrested a few asylum seekers right on the spot.
You don't have to. No necesitas decirle nada. No necesitas decirle nada sin abogado.
Please step back, ma'am. You cannot interfere.
I'm not. I'm giving him.
Step back.
I'm simply giving him a piece of paper that he
step
dropped.
back.
3 people were arrested at this courthouse on the same day.
It's been a busy day outside an immigration courthouse in downtown Phoenix. Protesters speaking out against federal agents who detained people who came to court both yesterday and today.
Protesters were saying that doing this kind of enforcement at courthouses makes immigrants afraid to even show up for their hearings.
Now, earlier today, our cameras were recording as agents detained 3 people. You can see the first 2 there. We understand similar apprehensions started yesterday. And what has been happening here for the past 2 days is something that is truly bewildering to the attorneys that we spoke with out there, as well as the large group of people who came here to support those being taken away.
My heart is broken for all the people who will miss him tonight. For his kids or for his family, and also for him being tricked essentially into detention and not knowing what comes next.
Get back, please. You need to get back. You need to get back.
I'm really disappointed in the way that we continue to treat our community members.
ICE issued their statement on this stance, and honestly, it messes with the whole idea of fair legal process.
Now, we reached out to ICE for comment on what's happening. They say in a statement in part that since President Trump took office on January 21st, agents have a new guidance that permits actions like what we saw today in and near courthouses. ICE says doing it this way is meant to avoid unnecessarily alarming the public or disrupting court operations. 12 News also spoke with a Republican state senator who supports the administration's immigration enforcement. And here's what State Senator John Kavanaugh had to say.
Well, people who show up for court who are legal immigrants have nothing to worry about. People who show up for court who are illegal immigrants, they should be apprehended not only in the courthouse, but wherever that they are detected. It's against the law.
Immigrants have been getting arrested right at courthouses by the ICE and claim that most of the people who took asylum in America did it through a fraudulent way.
The Supreme Court today granted the Trump administration's emergency request to revoke that program. Omar Villafranca in Dallas reports on a controversial deportation policy where migrants are being hauled away from courthouses.
We captured the moment 2 men went from migrants
Do not approach interpreters
to detainees. It happened last week at Dallas Immigration Court when nearly a dozen people showed up to have their asylum cases heard. Their cases were dismissed by the judge, and when they walked out of the courtroom, plainclothes federal agents were waiting to take them into custody. Immigration attorney Belinda Arroyo says targeting migrants at the courthouse used to be a rare event.
What does it do when an ICE agent is in the court and they're not dealing with somebody who's currently in ICE custody?
Well, I think it makes everybody be on edge.
But how is arresting these people during their hearings legal? This will be answered through this video.
It's not just happening in Dallas. Asylum seekers in San Antonio were seen crying and begging for help as they were led away in handcuffs. 2 Department of Homeland Security officials tell CBS News ICE is asking immigration judges across the country to dismiss the court cases of certain migrants so the agency can arrest them once their hearings end and place them in a fast-track deportation process known as expedited removal. Outside of Miami courthouse, this migrant in cuffs says in Spanish, it's a trap.
The official statements show that the new administration gives them the authority to deport and expedite arrests of immigrants that makes this whole process legal.
The Department of Homeland Security released this statement to CBS News, saying Secretary Noem is reversing Biden's catch and release policy that allowed millions of unvetted illegal aliens to be let loose on American streets. On President Trump's first day in office, he reversed a 2011 policy that limited ICE arrests at sensitive locations like schools, churches, and courthouses. Arroyo says this new policy is part of the administration's crackdown.
We literally have to tell people, like, no, it's okay. You know, we're going to be there with you. Nothing's going to happen.
But can you guarantee that?
But I honestly can't say that now, right? Like, I can't say that the way that we are seeing this administration move is that the reality is I don't know from day to day where we're going to be at.
This judge was arrested at the courthouse because the authorities found camera footage of her helping out an immigrant escape.
Illegal alien Eduardo Flores Ruiz, who you can see walking with his attorney right here, he was facing a domestic abuse charge. Well, he walked by a plainclothes federal agent that was waiting to detain him. Those agents were there sitting on the right. Well, that's when Dugan walks out. She was reportedly alerted by a court official. Documents say Judge Dugan then ordered the agents to enter the chief judge's office and even walk down the hall to distract other agents from the suspect. You can see her going down the hall here. Well, once the agents were in the office, Flores Ruiz and his attorney left through a different door. They walked by a separate plainclothes agent who then followed him downstairs to the basement exit. You can see that other agent there on the left. The other agents then leave the judge's office to rush downstairs. And next, we're going to show you some exterior camera shots right here. This shows Flores Ruiz running from the courthouse, trying to escape there on the sidewalk. But you can see those agents there right behind him, and they soon caught him.
People gathered around the courthouse to protest for the rights of immigrants, so they have the right to at least present their case legally in the court.
Activists also telling us that they have seen similar reports of arrests near courthouse in other states. We spoke with a couple people here earlier today. Listen to what they have to say.
So they should not skip their court hearings. They should absolutely still show up, but to be safe, they should work with a lawyer. They should reach out, connect with a lawyer if they don't already have one, hire one, or reach out to an organization that will advise them on this or escort them to these hearings. If they don't show up, they will be, again, there will be an order for their removal.
It's wrong, it's inhumane. We're talking about mothers detained in front of their kids. This is sick. This is not who we should be as a country.
So this is a very active situation out here. We are hearing that there may be more detainments possible. So that is something that people are waiting for. We will continue to follow this story, so you can stay with 12 News on air and online at 12news.com for the latest. For now, reporting live, Jay Cunningham, 12 News.
This whole situation, immigration enforcement clashing with the courts, is complicated and pretty intense.
Capturing videos showing some of these detainments as well as families being separated. Activists, attorneys, Arizona state senators, they were here today with many others. 12 News has yet to confirm how many people have been detained. We also have reached out to ICE for comment regarding this. We have not heard back yet.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you want to stay updated on stories like this.